Week 17, day 3, page 99. Okay. Did you write the thank you note yesterday? How did you feel when you sent the thank you note? Have you gotten any response from it? Don't expect somebody to come back and say, oh, well, thank you for writing that thank you note. You may never hear from them, but I promise you, you made their day. You made your day. You cannot tell me that you didn't feel gratitude when you did it. Communicator. And we're talking about the ability to communicate. Amen? And that's what you're looking for. Are you able to communicate? And communication is a lot easier than people think it is. It's just like writing that note yesterday. You may not be a great speech giver. A lot of people aren't. But you don't need to give speeches to be a great communicator. You write those thank you notes every Wednesday, and I promise you, you'll make a difference not only in your life, but everybody else's life. And you're developing the quality of communication. Here's one that you're not used to. How do you greet people every day? You're going to greet, and there's studies that have been done, they say that you will greet 500 people a day, an average day. Now that's just walking down the hall and morning, how you doing? Now you think about it. How do most people greet someone? Not bad for a Monday, I guess. Well, if it don't rain, be all right. It's Friday, so we got the weekend coming. You know, it's such a negative thing, and you have such an opportunity to make people happy. Look at the story today. You're talking about a simple story. The little boy told his mom that the man in the valley hated him. The mother asked, why do you say that? He said, I go to the valley's edge and I yell, I hate you. And he yells back, I hate you. The mother took the boy to the valley and had him yell, I love you. The echo came back, I love you. The number one thing people like to hear are their first names. Did you hear me? What did I tell you yesterday? What's the number one thing people want to receive? A written correspondence. What's the number one thing people want to hear? Their first name, not their nickname. Their first name. I tried, and I can use the word try because I didn't always do it, but I always tried to use every player's first name. And I would ask them, is there a name you want to be called by other than your first name? And unless it was a ridiculous nickname, then I called them by their first name. And I used the first name every time I talked to them, unless it was negative. If it was negative, I used their number. And that way I didn't try to embarrass them in front of anybody. But communication, use their first name. How do you greet somebody? You know, Zig Ziglar was a man that I worked for years, and Zig Ziglar was the greatest of these. He would talk about how do you greet people. And if you saw Zig, and it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And you'd be walking in the office there, and he'd say, good morning, and big old smile on his face, and you'd say, good morning. And then you'd walk a step or two, and you'd say, Zig, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And he'd say, well, then why did you say good morning? Well, you said good morning. You ought to learn something from that. What you send out is what you're going to get back. Good morning. And when you greet someone, you greet them in a positive manner. You'd be amazed at how much better you feel. What a great communicator you will be. When I worked for that book company, how do you feel today? I feel happy, I feel healthy, I feel terrific. Did you? No, you felt like a fool. I feel happy, healthy, and terrific. If you say that to very many people, they're going to go, I think Dennis is crazy. No. Good morning. And I tell you, once you start doing it, If I walked down the aisle of any school I ever coached at, and I wasn't happy, my players would scold me. What's wrong with you, coach? You're supposed to be positive. You're supposed to be happy. They held me accountable. Use people's first name. Greet them. Be happy. My daughter was an elementary teacher. She's an elementary administrator now, but when she was a teacher, she had a little exercise she did every day or every first day of the year. And she had one of those little trial toothpaste containers on each one of the desk. And she would say, okay, take out that little trial toothpaste container there and squeeze out just a little bit of that toothpaste. And they would, elementary kids. And she'd say, okay, now put it back. Oh, Miss Winslow, you can't put toothpaste back in the tube. You can't put it back. She'd say, remember that when you say something. Whatever it is that you say, you can't take it back. How you greet someone, you can't take it back. Good morning. How you doing? It's great to see you. Try it. I guarantee you, the more you do it, the happier you'll be and the happier everybody around you will be. There are some people that are so negative that they should have been the cruise director on the Titanic. But that's not you. In order to communicate, one of the main things you've got to do is learn how to greet people. Don't hold your head down. Walk with your head up, your eyes up, look them right in the eye and say, good morning. It's a great day and I'm going to get better. Zig used to always say, we'd say, how you doing today, Zig? I'm doing great, but I promise you I'm going to get better. And you'd laugh a little bit. Greet people. How do you greet people? How do you answer your phone? Zig used to answer his phone. You'd call Zig and he'd say, this is Bobby Ziegler's really proud granddad. You gotta laugh. Who do you think was sitting right there? Bobby Ziegler. This is Gene Ziegler's happy husband. Who do you think was sitting there? Somebody calls you, how do you answer the phone? How do you greet people? That's all developing the art of communication. You got to develop that quality. Change the way you greet people. Be positive. Use their first name. See you tomorrow.